Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here, and today's video is all about mistake recovery. Now, before I get into that, I wanted to let you know about my Play From Day One program. If you click the link below, then let me actually just put that in the links right now. Let's see if that works. What you'll do is you can add your name to the waiting list and get into the there'll be a very quick application that will where you can tell me a little bit about your guitar playing, and then we can potentially improve your guitar playing, learn songs faster, lots of really great stuff that that comes from working with a guitar expert. Okay, so if you're learning on your own right now and you're feeling like you're not getting the results that you want, then you can come hang out with me and I'll help you to learn songs faster. Now, mistake recovery is one of the most important parts on guitar. When you're playing songs on guitar, you do not want to let mistakes get the best of you, because mistakes will happen. Okay, mistakes will happen. I've toured with Kiss, I've toured with Hinder, I've toured with so many different bands, played in front of thousands and thousands of people, and every single show I have made at least one mistake. Okay, so it's kind of a pipe dream to think that there's not going to be any mistakes. Okay, there could be the littlest thing and we could consider that a mistake. There could be a string breaking big thing where you miss a chord, or there's a solo where the volume of your guitar is so loud that everyone could hear it. All of these things are possible, and all of these things have happened to me where I've made mistakes. And the first thing that you have to understand with mistakes is that, number one, they will happen, okay? And number two, that it's very important to know how to recover from the mistake, okay? That's the real trick here, is the recovery. That's the skill that we want, okay? Now, the first thing that I want to mention about mistakes is that when you're learning and when you're practicing this, I want you to see, so my brand new mug over here, so read that, take a second to read that, play now, polish later, okay, play now, polish later, and that mindset of play now, polish later is really going to be helpful for you, because what derails guitar players very often is the perfectionist. And if we think that everything needs to be perfect, then that means that every single time that you make a mistake, because mistakes will happen, every single time that you make a mistake, you are going to stop. Or it's going to jolt you, and you're going to then probably make more mistakes, and then there's a snowball effect. Now, inside my book, Practice Less, Play More, there's a great section on this on page 206. Between 206 and 200, let's say, I think it's like 220, there's a great section on mistake recovery, and that ranges from reiterating what I just said about how mistakes will happen. I talk about actually a brutal mistake that I made playing at the Alma Combo in Toronto. It was just all the instruments stopped and it was just me, and I just played everything one fret too high, which sounded so bad. But anyway, and by the way, if you want to hear that recording, then just reach out to me and I'll send you a link. But basically, mistakes will happen, and it's all about how we recover. So how do we recover? Well, the first thing to understand is that the song is like a train, and the train has left the station. Okay, the train has left the station, and if you are on that train, so you're playing that song, and then for whatever reason, if you miss a chord or you miss a beat or whatever it might be, then you have to understand that's like you falling off of the train. The train is still going, the song is still going, it's not going to wait for you, okay? So if you're playing something, you make a mistake, and then you just try to pick up where you left off, that train is long gone. That song is long gone at that point. So what you need to do instead is understand that you need to get back on the train exactly where the train is, okay? So for example, if you fall off that train, the train's going, you got to get right over here. You got to pick up with whatever chord the song is on at that particular time. You got to pick up with wherever the riff is at that particular time. Even if you stop for a second, try to recover as soon as possible, and your goal is to jump right back in with where the song is at, not with where you're at, okay? Because the song is a living, breathing thing that is moving, okay? And you have to jump back in at that point. Now, how do you do this? Well, I have a quick exercise for you that you could use to do this, and it's actually quite simple. Play the record. Okay, so play along with a record that you know. Okay, so you know how to play this song. Let's say it's a simple song. Even if you have a simplified version of the song, just have the record available. And this should be a song that you've been able to play for a little while. And even if you have to learn a few of the chords, then what you'll do is you'll pick a random spot in that song. Okay, you're just gonna go, let's say it's a 3-minute song, so you just scroll the timeline and hit play right at that particular time. Maybe it's 1 minute and 20 seconds. Hit play and try to get in right as soon as possible with your guitar part. So let's just say there's a chord. Let's just say at 1 minute and 22 seconds, the chord progression is E, A, D. Okay. So what you got to do is you hit play, you got to recognize what part of the song it's at. And this is why it's so important to use songs that you love. So you recognize what part the song is at, and then you start playing as soon as possible, okay? You don't have to do it right away. It doesn't have to be play and then you get right into it. But as soon as possible, you get back into the song and you continue to play. That's why it's important that you're playing a song that you already know how to play, and it's a song that you love, because you're going to be able to recognize what part it's at, and then you're also going to be able to recognize what part you need to play to get right on track with the song, okay? And you continue that, and you can do that in different parts of the song. Let's say you go to 47 seconds, and then you go and play, and then you try to jump in as soon as possible. Or you go to 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and then you jump in as soon as possible. If you do that and make that a part of your practice session, then you're going to be able to flex that muscle and really build up your mistake recovery, so that when you're playing, you're not thinking just about where your guitar's at and stop and then just get derailed and then that's it. You know, it's kind of an amateur move. What you do instead is you know where the song is going. You can see that train the whole time, and you can then jump right back in and get right back on track. Often the audience doesn't know. Anybody you play for will not know that you made a mistake. Often, if you just recover, they don't even recognize the mistake. And then also, you know, for you, that you're removing that jolt experience where you're not rattled by the mistake anymore. You just keep going. And that leads me to my final point. Is when you're playing, you got to just keep going. You got to play the music and you got to keep going. So when there's mistakes, because there will be mistakes, you got to just keep going and keep playing and try to get back on track. So it's possible, yes, you can stop for a second, but try, if you are going to stop, try to make that as short as possible. If possible, you can just keep going, and just try to recover, unless it's really, really bad. One time I saw U2 play, they're playing Sunday Bloody Sunday, and Bono actually had to go like this to Adam Clayton, because on the bass he was 1 bar ahead of the whole band. It was brutal. You'd think someone that experienced wouldn't do that, but hey, it happens to the best of us. So mistakes will happen. That's number one. There's a way to develop the mistake recovery muscle, but the first thing that you need to be able to do is understand that you got to keep playing. That train is not going to wait for you, and you got to stay on that train, or if you get off the train, you got to pick up exactly with where the train is at, not with where you're at. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. If you want to hang out with me, you want to you want me to show you how to recover from mistakes for the songs that you're learning, and you need my help to learn songs faster and on demand, then definitely check out playfromday1.com. Add your name to the waiting list. I'd be so stoked to help you to play faster and just have fun doing that. And yeah, so that's basically it. Add your name to the waiting list. To answer a few questions, I'll reach out to you with next steps. But mistake recovery, again, guys, make sure that you are always playing and focusing on building your mistake recovery muscle. And I promise your guitar playing is going to soar. I've made so many mistakes over the course of my playing career and my touring career, and most people don't even know that I made a mistake because I covered it up so well, because my mistake recovery was so strong. So hopefully you take that to heart, and leave a message below, leave a comment. I read every single comment. If you have any questions, if you're trying to recover from mistakes, on a certain song, just let me know. I read every single comment, and I'll either answer in the comments, or I'll make another video like this and I'll answer your question there. All right, so that's all I've got for today. Again, check out Play from Day One if you want to come hang out with me and have me help you to learn songs faster. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.